Did you see a different Kirk Cousins leading up to the games, chatting with him, looking him in the eye? Because we saw the Cousins that I'm sure the Vikings thought that they would get when they signed him to the contract they did, Troy.
No, I didn't. I think I'm a big fan of Kirk Cousins. I liked him when they drafted him out of Michigan State and Washington. I thought he was an outstanding pick in the 4th round. I've liked him since that time. And, you know, when he's come in, when he replaced RG3, he did some really nice things. And I liked his tenure there with the Redskins. But ultimately at that position, we're all judged on wins and losses and championships. And then the bar got raised, of course, when he went to Minnesota. And I think that he'd tell you there's been times when he hasn't played well, but I think in some of those big games. But also, even the Green Bay game, when I watched that in preparation for my broadcast yesterday, he took a brunt of the criticism for not winning that game. Primetime game, division rival, what's the deal? It wouldn't have mattered, if you had Otto Graham playing quarterback. They were not going to beat the Packers that night just because he didn't have much around him that was giving him much help. But I thought in the game yesterday, I do know this. You get labeled as a quarterback or there's narratives about you, and the last thing you want as a quarterback is to be thought of as a guy who can't win the big game. And so the pressure begins to mount. And every time he gets ready for one of those games, everyone's asking about him. I asked him about it, when we met with him. And he's been able to kind of put that aside, it seems. I do think he tends to overanalyze and overthink things, and even he will admit to that. But I thought he came in and settled in. I didn't think he settled in right away, but he settled in, and he didn't make mistakes. He played within the framework of the game, and I think that's really important. But then when the game was on the line, as you said coming into this show, he made those throws. The one to Thielen was as good as it gets. And then, of course, the game winner. So I'm happy for him, but now that's behind him. And,
that's right.
And, now it's on to San Francisco, and he has every bit of the same challenge in front of him. And I've won Super Bowls, and even when I continued to play, there becomes, you're not done. He's far from being done. I mean, when he went to Minnesota, the objective was not to win a wild card game and then be done. So the pressure mounts with each week that you advance.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.